1992.
I'm 10 years old. TV's my life.
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
I take a flamethrower to this one, and I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
This summer, Tom Hanks is managing the impossible.
Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball!
Wish I'd smack you around for a while.
What if my uniform bursts open and oops, my bosoms come flying out?
Think there are men in this country who ain't seen your bosoms?
I made it! A Rockford
A
Peach!
league of their own.
Welcome to another episode of Quantum Recast. I'm your host, Cory, and with me, the co-hosts, Nick.
Hey.
And Allie.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Good.
Doing well. How
It's
are you?
baseball season, Cory.
It is. It's baseball season, and I could care less. My wife loves baseball, and I think it's the most god-awful, boring sport on the planet.
We watched the World Series together.
We
That's
watched
right.
it when Chicago was going to win. It was like break some curse.
No,
there
no,
was like
I'm
a mythical element
That's true.
that got me
Bill
in.
Murray was there. It was
Yeah,
exciting.
Bill Murray's cheering. Like, I came in for the wrong reasons.
It was the most exciting baseball game
I
I've
just
ever
CM
seen.
Punk likes him, so I'm like
Yeah.
into it. So.
No, but we watched the Rangers with her together.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I take her to a game every now and then, and when the playoffs and World Series happens, we watch it in our home, and I'm just being a good husband.
So it's
saying, "Yay."
the roles are reversed. Like when you're watching movies, she's just kind of like, yay, movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
It's
You
like a
just put
balance.
it's marriage. You
There
just
you
put on a
go.
smile, and you grit through the stuff that your spouse likes. That you're
Compromise, give and take.
Like, yeah, for sure. And I like it because she likes the Astros because of, like, there's a Venezuelan player that she liked when she was in Venezuela, and he was on a pro team there.
Yeah.
And they're like the heels of
Right,
the
yeah.
baseball now.
'Cause
So
they're
like,
cheaters, Cory.
so I love that, like, she is a pariah to all the other people we know that like baseball. Like, they just boo my wife. And so
I was on a shoot this past week in Dallas. Said somebody, I was wearing an A's hat, so he's like, "So you're an A's fan?" And I was like, "Honestly, I'm tired of wearing Rangers."
I like Moneyball.
I was like, just thought green hat would be nice to change up. They're like, "Well, all you gotta say is that they're terrible." I was like, "That's what I picked up. That's what I've learned."
Yeah.
Quick funny short story. I had a Pirates hat that I have since.
I remember the Pirates hat.
I had the Pirates hat.
I remember that
and
one.
I wore it when we went to meet Chris Jericho, the wrestler. And I guess he has friends that he made his like, Pirates fan, huh? And I was like, yeah.
Please don't
Oh,
ask me a player. Don't
no.
ask me a player. Don't ask me a player.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, no, yeah, baseball. It's whatever. I love this movie that we're doing.
Yeah.
Does that count?
yeah, what movie are we doing, Cory?
We are doing A League of Their Own. It has been on the list for a long while. We tried to get this one off the ground as an all-girl episode a while back. Couldn't get it off the ground, so
And then Barbie
Allie,
came
you're
out.
here.
Hey, I'm here, guys. I'll fill on in.
Nick and I will just mansplain this movie.
So
Oh,
Allie, the way
Lord.
baseball's different than softball.
I will punch both of you.
Allie's from like San Diego, so you actually from a city with a team.
The Padres,
So,
which
yeah.
Petco Park is a really beautiful stadium,
So,
I will say.
there
It
you
is
go.
really, really gorgeous.
Nick and I are from Oklahoma. We just piggyback on the Rangers.
Yeah, when they're good, we're
We're
like,
like, hey.
Y'all were real stoked because they won the World
Hey, they won
Series,
the World
didn't they?
Series.
Finally,
And,
yeah.
we were like, woo.
I think it wouldn't be, surprise me if you guys got more excited about the whole Creed thing with like
I mean,
surrounding the World
I was
Series.
way more into the Creed
yeah,
thing.
I kind of figured.
I was way more into Creed being the soundtrack of that victory. I was like, so I'm all for it. So all right, well, if this is your first time here on Quantum Recast, first of all, we're on all social media. By all means,
Yes.
go check us out on all the social media machines. I don't know if there's any new ones, but I think we're on all of them.
yeah.
TikTok.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
We're not on Truth
X.
Social, but we should get on there.
I guess so. I mean, if we want to expand our reach, I guess.
Just really cause some fires. All right, really just talk about X-Men 97 on Truth Social and just watch it. Just watch people rage. So, all right. So yes, please go engage with us there. If you engage with us, that is us responding to you. We can't afford someone to do our social media.
Not yet. Yeah,
No. Not even sort of. This podcast costs money. We don't make any. And then, so if you've never listened before, we've been talking about baseball. We've mentioned A League of Their Own. If you've clicked on this episode, you saw the title of a movie next to the year it did not come out.
Yep.
For this instance, you've clicked on A League of Their Own 2020. which maybe you're thinking this about the show. It's not.
No.
Because that was 2022, right?
That's right.
All right. Okay, I was making sure. I was like, I prepared for this, right? We're not doing a TV show.
Oh no!
So,
Surprise!
But what we do on this podcast is we take a movie out of its original release year and we take it forward or backward in time and drop it in a new release year because we want to talk about what that movie would look like in a different year, because movies are so ingrained in their time and their era, and we're like, yeah, whatever, let's talk about it. And so here we're going to take A League of Their Own out of the early 90s, a great era of baseball movies.
That's true.
And we'll bring it to a dry spell for everything.
The wasteland of modern cinema.
A wasteland of baseball movies and movies in general in 2020 because COVID. Nothing came out this year except for things that got made earlier, and studio said, well, we're sitting on this.
Yeah.
Guess we can put it out.
Not a lot of movies, but a lot of podcasts that kickstarted and died a slow death.
Yes. All of a sudden, our competition really amped up when celebrities started making podcasts. It's like, hey, do you want to listen to these three nobodies talk about movies, or do you want to listen to the cast of The Office talk about The Office? Ooh. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't compete. I don't know anything about what went on set at The Office. So. All right. So, what we got to do first is we have to talk about A League of Their Own, the movie. If you haven't seen it, this is going to be a weird podcast because we're going to talk about it, and it's definitely old enough. There might be spoilers. So hit pause and go watch it if you've not seen this wonderful movie. And then we got to talk about the year we're taking it to because we need context. We need to know what we're doing here.
Oh gosh.
First off, A League of Their Own was released July 1st, 1992. What an incredible release date for a baseball movie.
Right?
July.
Yep.
Nailed it.
All right. League of Their Own, it's coming out at this is like Sandlot territory. We've just gotten past like Field of Dreams and Bull Durham in the late 80s.
Yep.
Rookie of the year, I would
Rookie
argue.
of the
I
year
love
is
Rookie
happening.
of the year.
Angels in the outfield.
Oh, Angels in the outfield? Oh, yeah.
Dang. So League of Their Own's just right at home in the early 90s, and that's why we're plucking it out. So,
This doesn't
the
belong here.
early 90s has got too much.
I wanted to destroy something beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So directed by Penny Marshall, who was an actress very famous for Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't remember if she was Laverne or Shirley, but she's one of them.
Didn't put that together at all.
Yes. Yes, Penny Marshall is an actress. Her dad is in the movie and in a lot of her movies. He's the owner of the chocolate company in this movie. That's her dad.
Okay.
The devil from Hocus Pocus. I wish I knew his name right now. It's something Marshall. I know that.
Well, she played Laverne.
Yeah, okay, Laverne. Laverne directed this movie. She also directed Big, another Tom Hanks movie, Awakenings, Renaissance Man, which is this really underrated DeVito movie.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty good.
It's one of the things that kind of like Mark Wahlberg was still Marky Mark when he made
gosh.
Renaissance Man. So, but it's one of his first movies. And Riding in Cars with Boys.
And The Preacher's Wife.
Dang,
It's a low-key 90s run. It's a pretty good... And she's got a good 90s run as a director.
She does. But she was inspired by an 87 TV documentary, A League of Their Own, about the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. In case you didn't know, this was real.
It happened.
It didn't. It happened. This is not made up. So it was a real league and everything. She never heard of it because history buried it.
Yep.
And so she contacted the film's creators, Kelly Canadali and Kim Wilson, to collaborate with the screenwriters to make this movie.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. They were involved in the writing, had a kind of a writing team. I'm not going to say all their names.
Right,
also,
right.
I can't pronounce.
He has a nickname.
Babalu
Babalu Mandel
Mandel.
and Lowell
That's what I thought it
Gantz.
was.
They're like a
Okay.
writing team. I guess
Hey.
they did Splash, Parenthood, City Slickers, and Fever Pitch.
Dang.
Oh,
So like for a
okay.
while in studios, they're like, I got a script. It's a Gans and Mandel.
Yeah. And they're like,
And you're
oh,
like, damn. It's like Lieber and Stoller bringing songs for Elvis.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay.
No, but Kelly Candelet, the documentary was about his mother's years as a baseball player on the team in the 40s, and they won an Emmy as part of the public television series, and that's what caught Penny Marshall's eye.
You think he was just like telling people my mom was a pro baseball player? And they're like, that doesn't make
That's not a
sense.
thing.
Women can't play baseball.
And he's
What are you
like,
talking
damn
about?
it. I'm making a documentary.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
let me
prove
show
it.
you.
You'll see.
In the theater, he stands up. Ah! And so, all right, budget of $40 million, brought in 132.4.
Nice.
You could have had a franchise, people.
The most
we go.
successful baseball film of all time at the moment.
Still?
Better than Field of Dreams and Bull Durham combined, Corey.
Suck it,
Wow.
Costner.
He's just mad. He's like, ugh. I'm going to go make Waterworld.
You didn't even have the best Wyatt Earp movie, Costner. What do you have? Oh, man. All right, so finished second opening weekend behind Batman Returns. Had some stiff competition there.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of DeVito. So, The Legacy, it's a short-lived series of the same title came out. I didn't know that until earlier when I was
Right.
had IMDb up and it recommended it.
Not the 2022 series that came out on Amazon.
No.
This is a 93 sitcom.
Yeah, they tried to capitalize.
Yeah, and it did not. I watched the premiere episode, Corey. It didn't translate well.
It's kind of hard to go, hey, here's the thing Tom Hanks was in, but he's not in it.
Yeah.
And Geena Davis
Geena
isn't in it
Davis,
either.
yeah.
It does have some of the cast returning, like Marla
Yeah.
Hooch, that actress is in it. Betty Spaghetti's actress is in it. So like some of them returned. But yeah. Amazon did release a reboot series in 2022. I saw the first 2 or 3 episodes, and it was just going to be too gritty and depressing.
Okay.
It's already a movie about
real.
it's already a movie about women having to overcome things. Now it's about like lesbians and like minorities having to overcome. And like this is just depressing. this is just people getting beat down. And I'm sure if I made it to the end, there would have been a message of hope. But I was just like,
you gotta start at the low point, Corey.
they
and
go
work your way
hard
up.
in the first like
Do they
couple
really?
episodes, and I was like,
Well, I think it was cool because it talks about like the inner workings of the team, but also gets to talk about what the other thing that we said that nobody talks about the women's baseball team, but nobody was talking about also the African American or black community that was playing baseball at the time as well.
Yeah.
Especially the black women that were playing baseball. Because I
Yeah.
guess the main
Yeah.
character, she's based on like 3 different women that played back then: Toni Stone, Mamie Johnson, and Connie Morgan, the Max character.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool that they expanded the movie and they were able to tell that story as well. Because the only thing you get is the scene where the baseball, I guess, is hit out of bounds, and
Yeah.
the girl picks up and throws it to the catcher, and you're like, oh wow, she could chunk it somewhere. It's,
Yeah.
it's one of those like lighthearted moments of like, yeah,
well, the movie does its due diligence, say like, let's explain why there's no black women on the team
Right.
in this movie because
Yeah.
the movie's only 2 hours and we can't tell all the stories.
Yeah.
And so I like that they have that scene. I think it's an impactful scene that does a lot. And everything. But I'll tell you what I don't like about the show. Actually,
Okay.
I think I just put this movie. There's never really, other than between the 2 sisters, the team's pretty cohesive. Other than little spats in here, there's not like
Yeah.
a female villain
Yeah.
on the
No.
team. You get that in the first episode, and I'm like, I don't want a bad villain on the team. This is they're supposed to be singing the song.
Well, the movie's very like prototypical
Yeah.
like sports movie to an
Yeah,
extent,
for sure.
But with this great layer of like this movie about women empowerment and them getting to like step out of this role that they've pretty much been pigeonholed in since birth at the time in the 40s. So
Yeah. Moving on, I'm just going. There's a lot of history on this movie.
right. What is cool is that, like, in 2012, it was announced that the movie would be preserved in the National Film Registry, and then they also had like a big reunion a couple years later in like I think 2013 of like the stars that were still around came and they brought in ladies from that league, the All American Girls Professional Baseball League, to come out, and they actually did basically the end of the movie.
End of the movie.
They did that
Yeah.
in real
that's
time.
so sweet.
Yeah, went to the Hall of Fame place, and then they had a softball game afterwards. So it's pretty cool.
That's
I'm
fun.
gonna have to look
That's
that up on
fun.
YouTube. That just seems very wholesome and
Right, yeah.
adorable.
If you've ever heard the line "There's no crying in baseball," this is where it
it.
comes from. This is the movie,
Yeah.
and it's like ranked very high by like the AFI as one of the greatest movie quotes of all time.
Ranked
Yeah.
54th.
54th. Hey, that's good. That's good.
I did the whole Leo DiCaprio like pointing at the TV as soon as he said it because I didn't realize that it was from this. This was my first time watching the film. I had never seen it. Yeah,
really?
it was like last month. So
Okay.
yeah, so it was one of those. I was like, hey, wait a second, I've heard that before.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Well, we gotta do the useless critic stats. We only call them useless because you should watch movies and make your own critic stats.
That's right.
Agreed.
It's Letterboxd is literally a thing. You can now just watch movies and critique them. So, IMDb gives it a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gets a critic score of 81 and an audience score of 84. So far, so strong.
Okay, solid.
Metacritic. Gosh, Metacritic's drunk. The critics, I never get used to seeing this. It's the critics are out of 100, which is 69 out of 100 with the critics, but an 8.2 out of 10 audience score. They only get 10 points. That's weird.
Because we're regular people, Corey.
Letterboxd 2.2? What the hell's the matter with everyone?
That's
like-
weird.
I was pretty shocked about that as well.
God,
Just a bunch of haters in the
bunch of
millennial Gen Z
cinephiles.
world.
Letterboxd is, you know what? Don't download it.
We take back what we
It's
said.
a bunch of cinephiles talk about
Oh,
Fellini's 8.5.
no, Corey, we lied. It's wrong. It's a 3.8.
Oh, okay. Why is that there?
I think that was Godzilla from
Oh,
last
okay.
week. So
That makes okay. That's too high for Godzilla.
Ash is just cringing right now.
All right, no 3.8. Okay, never mind. Re-download Letterboxd.
We're sorry. We acted
We're
out of
sorry.
spite.
Any
we apologize.
potential sponsorship that we had from
It's out the
Letterboxd is just
window.
out the window.
I'm dying for them to ask me my 4 favorite movies because they're wild. Al, you gave it a 3 out of
Did.
5 stars. Nikki gave it a 4. I would also give it like a 4.
That's fair.
So, I don't think I've ever actually gone on Letterboxd and done it, but I just wrote 4 down.
Cool.
So I'll do it later.
Well, Allie, just real quick, what were your thoughts on the movie, just generally? Your first time?
So I only watched it once, and it was a month ago, and so I'm still trying to remember it. But I thought, so first off, I did feel very empowered. I felt the whole empowerment. I really enjoyed that. I love Geena Davis's character. I also liked the complexity of Tom Hanks's character, and that he's just this washed-up baseball player who's basically become an alcoholic, and he's trying to navigate through all of that. I enjoyed those aspects of it. There were just some parts of the plot where I felt it kind of lulled a little bit, and maybe that's just on me. Maybe I just wasn't paying great attention to it.
It's a movie that takes its time with some stuff.
It does. And that was just one thing that, a part of me almost wanted to say, well, I'm not really into baseball movies, but I do love The Sandlot and Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, we just named off banger after banger, okay.
Well, I guess I like silly baseball movies and more
I love
serious
silly baseball
ones.
games too. The Savannah Bananas.
The Savannah Bananas, man. Oh, I would love to go see that.
Allie
But
just prefers children or chimpanzees in her baseball.
I guess so, man. I guess that's what it is. But no, I did think the performances were really good. I also thought the casting was really interesting with Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell and all of these. And like Cory said, I'm glad that there wasn't a villain in it. I'm glad that that there wasn't one of the girls that was conspiring against all the rest of them.
And there really wasn't the prototypical man who's like, women don't belong in the sports world. Like there was like the company guy, but he was just being a company man. He's like, listen, there's the MLB's going to come back.
There's a power vacuum. We're making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people need baseball. So, for the record, it's Harvey chocolate bars in the movie, but the real guy was Wrigley's gum.
Oh.
Chicago Wrigley's.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Wrigley's
Interesting.
gum.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
The more you know.
I looked it up. Air Bud does have a baseball movie.
Nice.
7th inning
does-
fetch.
What? How does that even work?
I don't know. I was actually curious if they ever got the golden retriever to
not
play
gonna-
Does
baseball.
he swing the bat? Or
I guess
what does he do?
Well, okay, look.
Possibly with his tail.
Look, you just take the designator hitter spot and you give it to the dog, and then he just plays outfield.
Huh. Yeah, I was about to say, it makes way more sense than basketball. Like, dogs can catch.
Yeah, but okay.
Listen, in football, he's going to get checked if they
Oh my
ever come
gosh.
across him.
I'm not going to do any research on this.
I'm just saying, you like silly baseball movies. Maybe look up 7th inning fetch.
Sounds like a real winner.
I don't know about that one, guys. Thanks for the suggestion, though.
All right, so we have to ask ourselves though what Roger Ebert thought about the movie.
Do we?
He's got a gradation of 4 stars, and he gave it 3. 3 out of 4.
That's not bad.
He liked it. He said A League of Their Own follows many of the time-honored formulas of sports movies, but it has another level that's a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
He likes it.
He gets it.
He shows the women characters in a tug of war between, the director, Penny Marshall, shows her women characters in a tug of war between new images and old values. And so her movie is about transition, about how it felt as a woman suddenly to have new roles and freedom. He liked it.
Yeah,
He thought it was
did.
empowering. So, also said what's fresh are the personalities of the players, the gradual unfolding of their coach, and the way this early chapter of women's liberation fit into the hidebound traditions of professional baseball. By the end, when the women get together again for the reunion, it's touching the way they have to admit, that what do you know, they really were pioneers. So
Yeah, I think it rides that. Some movies are cheesy, you're just like, this is too cheesy. Like feel good kind of movies like this, but this, I feel like a lot of sports movies get that wrong. They're trying to be like, this was a big empowerment movement and this happened, but the schmaltziness, the cheesiness just goes way too over. And this found the right balance. And you kind of feel the emotion at the end and throughout.
if there was going to be a cheesy part, it was going to be the reunion, which the whole movie's bookended by old Geena Davis.
Yeah.
Wildly not Geena
Not
Davis in
Geena
makeup.
Davis.
Surprise.
That was crazy. The casting on that was phenomenal.
I thought forever that was Geena Davis. And it's just a few years ago, I'm just like, man, the makeup was, who did the makeup for this movie? And then it's Lynn Cartwright is playing older Geena Davis in this movie, the old Dottie. I'm like, that is Geena Davis.
That's a lie.
Bullshit.
Yeah. No, I was
And
shocked.
it's not just her. They do good with all of them. The older
Yeah,
Lori
man.
Petty, I was kind of convinced, that's Lori Petty in makeup. And when you see all these old ladies around, you're like, I know who they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because they look like the older version of themselves.
Yep.
So
That was back when when the casting people did their job, Cory.
this is why the Oscars are finally giving casting Oscars
guess
starting
so.
next year.
Yeah.
I bet someone at the Oscars was watching A League of Their Own, looked it up, and said, damn, that person deserved an Oscar.
Stuntmen don't need shit, but hey, casting directors, get them their due.
Oh my gosh, I love it. But yeah, if either part is going to be cheesy, it's especially going to be the ending when they're together. But it's actually hyper emotional.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
managed to hit all these spots. Ira Lowenstein's still alive. He gets to cut the ribbon.
Yeah,
He finally
So
is getting
sweet.
recognition. You know, you see Jim Dugan's dead, and they have his poster. And you're like, that's Little Stillwell's grown up, played by
yeah.
Mark
Yes.
Holt, and I'm just glad it's Mark Holt. So yeah, it's good. I love it.
Lynn Cartwright was known for The Wasp Woman in 59, The Blue Man in 1990, and The Queen of Outer Space in 1958. So she's an old sci-fi lady.
Oh my!
And if you look her up on IMDb, her profile picture, she's a babe.
She's grade A
She's a
badass
babe.
from what it sounds like.
And a badass. So
Man, that's all. You think Gina met her? Like went on set and went, whoa,
it's me, but different.
it's uncanny. All right, so Nick, why did we pick this movie?
Because we love baseball. That's a lie.
Yeah, I was about to say. Wait a second.
Listen, it's baseball season. We're trying to pull in some different demographics, Corey. But it's a great movie too. I think it's like we talked about. It was one that we considered for our all-female cast, or our all-female casting, which had Allie and our friends Christy and Cass. That's on the show that we're a part of. Go check out Barbie. But it just timing was different, but we still felt like we wanted to cast it, and it's a great movie. On top of that, so
Yeah, no, and apparently Allie just now saw it, and this was dear to me and Nick, so we're actually the experts here.
yeah, wow.
Sorry, guys.
This was an empowering movie to young Nick and I. So yeah, no, it was just time.
Yeah,
and
I
you
think
know,
so.
and it's just like, hey, baseball season's starting, and we have an episode to do. So
Hey.
you know, and hey, Tom Hanks.
And Tom
Is
Hanks.
it ever a
Tom
bad
Hanks.
time for Tom Hanks?
No.
But apparently the 90s was the perfect time for Tom Hanks.
Bruh.
Can we talk about the run that
Bruh.
this man just is going on?
Where are you starting?
You start at the beginning. Where
Okay, I mean, like, by all means. Like, you want me to go through it?
go through it.
Okay, like,
Give us the
listen, I
rundown.
have a theory, and I was talking about this with Allie while you were doing something. I don't know,
Okay.
before we started recording. I think you were getting us beverages.
Got it.
You're being a good host.
My double job is a PA of the podcast.
So Tom Hanks comes into the fold in like 80 with Bosom Buddies. This sitcom, it lasted 2 seasons, you know, by all
Yeah.
means. 37 episodes. You can look it up. It's fun. Other than that, then it was guest spots. Then he did the weird D&D movie.
Right,
Have you ever
right.
seen the D&D
No.
movie?
I've never seen it, but I know of it.
Mazes and Monsters is incredible because it's literally a like almost after school special like conservative movie about D&D's gonna make your kid kill people.
Yeah.
It's evil. It's the
It's a
devil.
satanic panic
and
response.
Tom Hanks plays a kid that gets too into it and becomes his character.
Oh my gosh.
And I think kills a person.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
But he follows that up with Splash, and Splash puts him on the map. You know, he's
does.
considered likable. It's a leading role. It's in love with a mermaid. Then it's like he becomes comedy guy.
yeah, it's live
He's
action
fun.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen
He
it.
falls in love with a what's her name?
Definitely.
Have to add
What's
it to
her
my
name?
letterbox.
Why do I not know her name?
What is
Daryl
her name?
Hannah.
Daryl Hannah.
Daryl Hannah.
There it is.
So this goes on his comedy run. It's Bachelor Party and Volunteers and Money Pit, Dragnet. Big is a big one.
It is.
Yes.
Big is the one that I think makes people take him seriously.
Right.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
like,
And
okay,
it's
this guy's got something going
Also,
on here.
Penny Marshall, because it's a very emotional role.
Yes.
You know, he's playing a man-child, but he's doing it well. Follows up big, back to comedy, The Burbs, Turner and Hooch, Joe versus the Volcano. In 1990, he makes Bonfire of the Vanities, which could tank his career. It's considered one of the biggest missteps in Hollywood. It's overdone. He's cast as like an asshole Wall Street guy, and everyone's like, why in the world is Tom? He's too likable. A League of Their Own happens. And I think my theory is it saves his career.
I mean, it looks like it.
It's valid.
Yeah, I think because if you now look at post League of Their Own, he's not comedy guy anymore. Are you ready for this? This is the run.
Give me the run.
Starts with A League of Their Own, then goes into Sleepless in Seattle,
Banger.
Philadelphia,
Banger.
Oscar, Forrest Gump, Oscar, Apollo 13, Toy Story, That Thing You Do, From Earth to the Moon, Saving Private Ryan, You've Got Mail, Toy Story 2, The Green Mile, Castaway, Band of Brothers,
Golly.
Road to
Yeah.
Perdition, Catch Me If You Can.
He doesn't screw up. He doesn't have a misstep.
For a
It's a whole decade, yeah.
For a decade.
Just
he has a
banger after
perfect
banger.
career. Even the miniseries craps he's doing, he's just awesome.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, then he hits Lady Killers in 2004, and at that
And
point,
then it's kinda up and
It's
down.
give or
Yeah.
take. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Terminal. I love Polar Express, but after that, it's just it's whatever. Yeah, but I mean, damn, this is an important movie for Hanks.
It is.
Yes, absolutely.
When you put it into that context, you're like, wow, this was really kind of a do or die moment, because it's like, does he go back to just pure comedies? Because this really helped. This is the transformation, really. It goes from like, because the character is comedic, but there is pathos to it, and so he
Yes.
slowly transitions, and you're like, oh, he's likable. Even as an asshole in the movie, his turn to being a likable guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what producers say they like about him, is that even when he's an asshole, you're like, that's Tom Hanks, and he's still super likable. You're still rooting for the guy, even when he's
Yeah.
a dick.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so, I just find it interesting when you look at his filmography that this is the pivot.
Yeah.
This is the pivot point. We talk about Tarantino and Travolta a lot with Pulp Fiction. Travolta's career's dead on arrival, and he kind of revitalizes it. I think Penny Marshall said, "Hey, I directed this guy in Big. I think he can do this."
Yeah, and he did.
And he did,
and he
and more.
nailed it.
And she created a box office monster. So I'm down. All right, so now we have to talk about the year 2020.
Oh, do we have to?
Do we have to?
Is this necessary?
I think we all know. We know how it went
We
down.
all lived it. We don't need to relive it.
All right, 2020. So we usually look at box office, which the general audience is watching. We look at the Academy Awards, which cinephiles are watching, and then we look at things that we like. And so
Good luck.
yeah. Nick, is this even the top 10 of movies that came out in 2020?
This is the top 10 of the movies that came out that year. Half of the top 10 from 2019 would have been in the top 10 had they if we included the carryover, like the movies they were making money that year still.
Yeah. Okay. So this is just movies released in 2020, top 10. Wonder Woman 1984 comes in at number 10. Still haven't seen it. Number 9, Tenet.
It's better to watch at home.
Number 8, The Croods, The New Age.
Hey, listen, franchise, baby.
Number 7, Onward.
The Pixar, okay.
6, Call of the Wild. Is that horrible Harrison Ford?
Ford
CGI
movie?
dog movie?
Yep,
Oh,
yep,
okay.
yep.
It just feels more recent than that. All right. Okay. 5, The Invisible Man.
Like one of the last movies to come out before
Yep.
COVID.
And I
Yeah,
liked
right
it.
before.
I liked it.
I did too. I enjoyed it.
4,
Oh my gosh.
Doolittle.
Are you serious?
The box office bomb Doolittle that everybody puts as
Are
like a
you
stain on Downey's
serious?
career.
Oh,
It's number 4.
Okay.
Oh
wow.
my God.
Number 3, Birds of Prey, which is
Margot
the Harley
Robbie.
Quinn movie, right? Okay. Number 2, Sonic the Hedgehog. And number 1 is Bad Boys for Life.
The Michael Bay movie, the non-Michael Bay Bad Boys is the one that hits the top of the box office.
Oh my gosh, and it sucks. The other 2 are so good.
You can't recreate the Bayhem, Corey.
Wow. You can't. Well, that brings us to the. So hold on. So honestly, this is where I would try to tell you what people are watching, but people are watching whatever the hell they can get
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
this point.
Listen, they released The Last Dance early because we needed it. Tiger King was a thing at this time and
Oh
place.
man.
Yeah, we were all watching Tiger King right now.
Golly.
That's what's happening. All right, the 93rd Academy Awards, celebrating the films of 2020. Still shocked we had one. Okay. Best Supporting Actress went to Yoo Hoon-yoon for Minari. Best Supporting Actor went to Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah. Still think that Lakeith should have got it, but that's fine. It's whatever.
It's okay. It's all right.
They were both nominated. Actress went to Frances McDormand for Nomadland for some reason. Actor, also, one of the more controversial picks.
Oh, that's right.
Anthony Hopkins, the father.
Beat out Chadwick Boseman
Yeah.
in his last role after his death, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Anthony Hopkins had the foresight not to go to the Oscars.
They literally changed the order of the Oscars. They were like, Best Picture and then Best Actor. They thought this was going to happen.
Yeah. And nope.
Oh man, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
It was so awkward.
It was
so
rough.
bad.
So the what? Best Picture.
Yeah, that one.
Best Picture,
They
the
didn't
big
care.
one.
Yeah.
The big one. The nominees were The Trial of the Chicago 7, Sound of Metal, Promising Young Woman, Minari, Mank, Judas and the Black Messiah, The Father, and again, for some reason, Nomadland won.
I still haven't seen it. I intended to try to watch it before we recorded, just so I could give some context. But I think even the last time we did this, I think Tanner had seen it, but I don't remember his.
I don't think he liked it.
I don't think he liked it either.
And he tried to live in a van for
Yeah.
a while. He was in. So, and he didn't even like it. So, and I actually think his problem with it is he thought it was a poor representation of van life.
That's fair. That's fair.
Hey, he would know. So, all right, guys. What were you guys watching?
Oh Lord.
A lot of just randomness, I'll tell you.
A lot of us were just going through our watch lists.
Right.
And watching Tiger King going,
Yeah.
wow, that happened down the road.
Yeah.
Where was I?
It's literally 20 minutes north of where I lived.
Yeah. I remember the billboards.
Yeah.
Joe Exotic and thinking, that place looks fun.
I mean, yeah, you're
Well-
just trying to watch whatever. I mean, some of the movies that came out, I watched The Last Dance. I mean, I remember everybody was reminded of Michael Jordan's greatness. So that's what I'm going to shout out, because that's the thing I remember from 2020 that was positive. What did you guys watch? What's a notable film from that? From a notable film or show, I guess, since we're picking at scraps here a little bit.
Al, you got anything?
Yeah, I do. Color Out of Space was one that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
It's a H.P. Lovecraftian, or wait, no, it is a story, right?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
H.P.
Color Out
Yeah,
of
no,
Space is,
yeah. But it's Cage. It's good old Nick Cage, and I don't know. It's a lot of fun, but it's also terrifying.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah, I
one.
keep meaning to watch that. So
I will see your Lovecraft, and I will raise you underwater.
I guess that's true. It's a twin film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I don't even know anything
Underwater
about
is
that.
incredible.
You should watch Underwater,
Yeah, it's
Alex.
Is
a
it
Kristen
good?
Stewart
It's pretty
movie, and it
Oh,
has
I know which one.
this
Yeah.
wild ass Lovecraftian twist at the end.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
at the bottom of the
Perfect,
ocean and
yeah.
everything. Okay,
Right,
no,
yeah.
I have seen that.
No, it's incredible. It like literally
It was
has
really
the
good.
Cthulhu is the bad guy, and you're like
Spoilers!
Yeah, sorry.
In case you were wondering.
If Underwater's on your watch list, that's just weird. It's not like a well-known movie.
To be honest, I think you had mentioned like I really liked it and stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah. And then I think you saying that Cthulhu was the the monster, and I was like, oh. And
yeah, it's
so
not necessarily like a massive. And they never say the word Cthulhu. It's just clearly
implied.
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was on a plane watching it. And I was like, looking around. Everyone else is watching like the latest Mission Impossible. I'm like, this is awesome.
To be clear, you weren't watching it on a plane in 2020 during COVID.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It might have been.
It all comes out now.
I'll tell you right now, I've never got on a plane willingly. I'm just being told I'm going on a plane somewhere by my wife or somebody. So, I think I woke her up and said, "It's the Cthulhu," and she's like, "What are you talking about?" So, all right. Other than that, Hamilton, that came out on Disney Plus. We all watched it because we weren't going to go to New York and watch it.
Hey, Bill and Ted.
Actually
Bill and Ted
haven't
finally
seen
had
it.
the third movie.
I never
They did.
watched it. I just can't do it.
You know,
Nostalgia's
honestly,
weird to me.
I think
That's fair.
I think you might have some nostalgia heartstrings, but I do think you might be disappointed by it.
I feel like I would.
The time has passed too much.
Apparently, they're making a fourth, and I'm not
What?
sure how I feel. I do like that Alexander Winter's doing things. He's
Yeah,
he's
that's
low
fair.
key awesome. All right, so before we hop into the cast,
Yeah.
we got to say, how does the movie change coming from 1992 to 2020?
Well, I think that because it's like when we normally have period piece type movies, I don't think a lot changes aesthetically. I mean, obviously you're talking about film versus like digital, like on that level in terms of the filmmaking process. But I think from a casting standpoint, I think there's an initial thought to maybe go like, well, do you diversify this? Do you bring different minority groups into it? But I think because of, and this was a conversation we had before we started the episode, was like, well, do you come into it with that mentality, or do you stay more historically accurate?
Yeah, I think if the movie's being made in 2020, that it is a conversation where they say, let's not make this just female empowerment. Let's make this racially empowerment. Let's make this.
Right.
It's like LGBTQ, which is actually all things that were prevalent
Yeah.
in the actual All-American
Absolutely.
Girls Baseball League, which is why they made the show in
Yeah.
2022. They're like, hey, we need a longer form storytelling of like
To cover
really
all
to
this.
capture. There was a lot of the players were LGBTQ in the league, and so I think that would have been a thing in 2020.
Yeah.
They probably a bigger conversation
For sure,
probably
for
because
sure.
in '92 those conversations weren't really being had.
Yep.
It's just more like, eh.
But I think that, I think you're right. Like we talked about earlier, like having a show format for that is so much better because you can dive into all those themes, especially because once you integrate like the story about like the black baseball players coming in, it's the same generalized story, but they're both very different. And they're different chapters of the same story, if that
I
makes
think
sense.
you'd be doing a disservice if you try to crowbar all of that into a 2-hour movie.
For sure.
Someone's not going to get as much love.
Right.
You know, either it's like, well, we're not going to talk that much about the female empowerment. We're going to lean on race more. Or, hey, we're not going to lean on race as much. Something's going to get lost in a 2-hour format.
I feel like there would be an imbalance of like trying to juggle too much at once. I feel
Yeah.
like in a 2020 maybe becomes more aware of like, yes, some of these characters are LGBTQ or something.
Yeah.
But I think you make the spin-off movie or the sequel or shared universe for the Max character that's on the TV show.
And I have no idea if Rosie O'Donnell was out in 1992.
Yeah.
But you have like one of the most famous lesbians in the movie.
Yeah,
true,
that's
yeah.
true.
And you're like wondering, I have no idea if she was
I guess
out
you
in
could,
92.
you
I'm
could
not
argue
sure.
that
Because they could have had an arc in there with her.
Right. Yeah.
You
'Cause
know?
you could kind of code it. That's
Yeah.
that's the term for, well, this character we intended to be LGBTQ, but there was a time when we couldn't say they were part of that group. So
And like Madonna's bi, right? Like she's
Yeah,
pretty
I'm pretty
openly
sure.
like
Yeah.
bisexual. So I mean, like those actresses were there that would have been like all
Right.
for it. But
Yeah.
like let's put it
Sure,
out there.
why not?
But again, I think in '92 those actresses were probably also hearing about this baseball team for the first time.
Going,
They're probably like, what?
Yeah.
There was a pro women's league for 10 years.
for 10 years. That's wild to think about. And
it
then
is-
they
it's
then they
super
just
And then,
erased it. Yeah.
Yep. Well,
But yeah, I think that's the main thing that changes. So we should probably go ahead and put a disclaimer on here that that's how we casted the movie.
We just stayed historically accurate. to
We
the story.
mainly stuck to an all-white cast.
Yeah.
And that also has a lot to do with just the optics of the podcast, that if I gave Nick a black actress and Allie gave him a white actress, we look at Nick and go, what you gonna do, buddy? You're either gonna look real
Make
good or
your
real great
choice.
here, and so it's also just to avoid that. Sometimes because that can be really hard when you're in the director's seat and you're like, well, I feel compelled to do one thing, y'all kind of put me on the spot. So we followed the movie that we're in the first year of this league and it's only white players.
Right, yeah.
So we are aware of the lack of diversity in the cast that we've brought. So, before you cancel us on X. So,
I guess so.
Are we on X?
We're on X.
Oh.
On Twitter, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I refuse to call it X.
Oh, Twitter?
I actually haven't updated it since it turned to X. It's still
Oh,
Twitter in my phone. I'm like, no, I'm not.
It's still Twitter to me,
I'm
damn
not
it.
doing this. Screw you.
never
Never
kill
mind. I'm
this
not even gonna
bluebird.
go there. Never mind.
I'll die on this bluebird, Elon.
2020.
I'm Son. New name, COVID-19.
Became personal with me.
Carol Baskin's plan.
Top, make it drop, that's the way.
You have arrived.
All right, so we got to cast this thing. Nick, you're the director.
That's
Allie
right.
and I have prepared cast lists, and we're going to pitch them to you roll by roll. Now, we only talk about a handful of characters in depth.
Right.
We'll do a lot of characters kind of fast. We call it 30 seconds or less. Never happened in 30 seconds, ever on this podcast.
That's the dream, baby.
So, we'll rapid fire a lot of these because it is a baseball team.
That's true.
A lot of characters.
Yeah. 9.
But for those actors we cast up top, our primary 5, I believe, on this
Yes,
episode, there's rules. Allie and I have rules. We can't just go recasting willy-nilly.
That's right.
I guess.
All right, so we have dropped A League of Their Own in 2020. Anyone Allie and I have chosen must be alive in 2020. We can't just bring people back from the dead or anything like that.
Right.
So, anyone we cast must be free to do so, to show up on set. They can't be in prison or anything like that.
Nope.
Or, I guess, blacklisted.
Right.
Anyone you cast must have an acting credit in the year of 2020 or prior to. For a lot of these characters, prior to, because a lot of people weren't acting in 2020. So, took the year off. So, we are flexible with children and teenagers, but that doesn't come up here.
No.
So, we have no children.
We didn't cast the kid.
We didn't cast Stillwell. No. So, anyone we cast in the movie, this is the big one. This is where it gets a little creative. We'll lose all major acting credits in films from that year. We don't count TV or Broadway or anything like that.
No.
So,
Hamilton's fine. It's safe.
Hamilton's fine. So, all right.
What power-ups do I have, Cory?
You have a couple.
Yes, tell me my powers.
Sound like a madman.
What am I allowed to do?
Nick's already
yes.
a tyrant on this.
Yes, Simpson, tell me.
You have 2 power-ups that you can use. The first one you can use at any time
Okay.
during the casting. You can use it at the very end, even. And it's called the old switcheroo, which means anybody that's been played that you've chosen on the board, cast in a role, you can switch them in their respective roles.
Right.
You just say, hey, maybe you just like this person here and there. And then sometimes you might choose someone up early knowing that I might like this person later on, and I just want to save them here in case they don't come up
Keep it
later.
in the pocket,
It's chess.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
chess. So, the second and more powerful power-up, if you will, is called the override. However, you can only use that during the casting of that role. Once the hand's off the chess piece, you can't change.
It's over.
But what you can do is you can essentially tell me and Allie, F off. I don't like any of this. So, and you can put your own person in the role, but you are bound to the rules as well. So,
Fair enough.
all right. Are we all in agreement here?
I guess
believe
so.
so.
Well, that's good because those were the rules and I wasn't going to change them. All right. So we're going to start with our 30 seconds or less, which again is what we kind of call the below the line cast. Really what it is this film's been edited for time's sake on
Right.
television.
Yes.
What it is we can't go through 20 people and talk about them. You have a life, we have a life. So the roles we will be casting rapid fire, shoot from the hip, are as follows. Ernie Capadino, played by John Lovitz, brilliantly, I
So
might
good.
add,
So
in
good.
this
Yes,
movie.
so good.
Also reprises the role in that 90s sitcom, I noticed.
He's a team player. That's
He's
all
like,
I'll
I'm
say.
not doing anything.
Yeah. I'm not doing anything.
All right. Ira Lowenstein, played by David Strathairn. It's wild that I don't know his name.
Strathairn or something.
He's like in everything.
He's in one of the Godzilla movies. He's in the Bourne Ultimatum, Supremacy.
He's a
Identity.
brilliant character actor,
Yeah.
and I've just never known his name.
Yeah.
Okay. Bob Henson, played by Bill Pullman for some reason. No idea why Bill Pullman just like shows up in this movie.
He took the role as a favor to Penny Marshall.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a big get for like 5 minutes of movie. You're just like, dang.
I was about to say, bless that Bill Pullman's in this
like
movie.
it's cool.
Man's
You're
a
just like,
stud.
who called Bill Pullman's agent and said like, hey, we need him for like a day.
Allie's a big fan of While You Were Sleeping. So.
I'm a big fan of Spaceballs. I had a really, really weird thing for him in that movie.
Hey, While You Were Sleeping is a great movie.
I've actually never seen it.
You'd
need
like
to.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same DB.
All right, and then the players that we are casting here will be Betty Spaghetti Horn, played by Tracy Reiner, Ellen Sue Gottlander, played by Freddie Simpson. At shortstop, I'm sorry, Betty played left field and pitcher. I should say their position.
That's right.
Evelyn Gardner, Stillwell's mom, right field, played by Biddy Scram.
She's the one that gets yelled at.
And she
There's no crying in baseball. That's the lady.
She's the crier.
Good crier.
We need an actress that can cry. Shirley Baker, I can't read. It's so heartbreaking. Left field, played by Ann Cusack.
She's the one that learns to read.
She related to the Cusacks?
Yeah, she's the oldest Cusack.
I wasn't
if I'm
aware
not
there was an
mistaken.
oldest
Either.
Cusack.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
I'm
There's
pretty
always
sure
a third.
she is.
There's always a third. A Manning. The Wilsons.
Always a third one. Got it. The Hemsworth. Wahlbergs. Or I guess that's a third
The
Wahlberg.
Baldwins.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. Marla Hooch, played by Megan Cavanaugh.
That's right, yes.
That one was a little tough. We had to bring it down. Probably the strongest of the 30 seconds or less. We really need to nail Marla Hooch, who plays second base and a power hitter.
Yeah, she's the one that goes through a transformation of sorts. You know, she's the tomboy.
She's the Ali Sheedy.
Yeah, the dad.
She gets made over.
Listen, she didn't have a mom. The dad just raised her the best he could. Darn it.
And and marries Nelson. Misses the playoffs.
Does miss the playoffs.
Yeah, because it's like. Seriously, get married and go to the World Series as your honeymoon.
Right?
You got time. Nelson's not getting drafted.
No.
So, I don't know. It just sucks they lost their power hitter, right?
That's true.
I'm still upset about it. All right. So, Nick, you will just say the character and we will come at you.
Okay, sounds good. We're all good. Everybody's ready.
Yes,
Allie, you ready?
I'm ready
Cory,
to
you're
go.
ready. Flipping my imaginary coin. Cory, you're going to go first, so I will say the name. Say your name, Cory, and then back to Allie. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Ernie Capadino, Cory.
I'm bringing you the stand-up comedian Nate Bargatze.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh dang it! I actually like that.
Allie.
I am bringing you Margot Martindale. We're gonna gender swap this. She is a character actress. She is known for being. She was in like. Oh my gosh, I am completely blanking. She was in $1 Million Baby. She was Hilary
Yes.
Swank's mom. She's been in a bunch of character actor stuff. She also was in Cocaine Bear recently.
That's
so-
right. She was one of
she
like
was the ranger.
Rangers.
So I'm bringing you Margot Martindale.
Some strong choices out the gate. Okay. I like the Nate pick. I think it's
Yes,
a
that's a
completely
good
different
one.
vibe from John Lovitz.
But it's going to be really dry
good.
humor
Yeah.
the whole time, and I like it. All right.
All right. Ira Lowenstein. Who you got, Cory?
Paul Rudd.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun here.
Oh,
Okay, some
that's a good one.
likability.
I think he's funny and he's lighthearted, but I think he's going to fight for those women.
And he's gonna earn getting to cut that rope at the end. Allie, who do you got?
Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender.
You just classed it up.
Oh, you did. Now I feel like I'm a little
just made it
prestigious.
classy.
Yeah, let's get some fast. Let's class this place up a little bit.
You just made the All-American Girls Baseball Club legit.
Fassbender. All right, Bob Henson. Who's coming home from war, Cory?
I'm bringing you John Krasinski.
Oh, that's
Not Jim.
Oh,
Jim.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Allie, who do you have?
Well, I mentioned my huge crush on Bill Pullman, so I'm bringing you another huge crush. I'm bringing you Zac Efron because he doesn't ever get brought up on this podcast, and he deserves more love. Dang it!
We've brought up Efron a few times.
Not enough.
Maybe not enough.
Not enough. Maybe not enough. Oh well, sorry, Allie, but I'm gonna go Krasinski.
I know, that's a good one.
Listen, this is a 1940 setting, and if any man fits that setting, it's Krasinski.
I know,
It's Krasinski.
dang it.
All right, moving on. At left field, Betty Horn, Cory.
I'm bringing you, and she just has the one really heartbreaking scene.
Yeah.
You know, this is the one where the worst mailman in the world shows up before the big game, rifling through his bag, going, I got a note from the War Department from one of you ladies. And it's just the room goes silent. Then he's like, oh, these are the worst, too. You think they would send someone personally to tell you your husband's dead. Anyways, and it's just like, now it's like, what? And then he's like, you know what? I can't find it. I can't find the name. I am out. So Tom Hanks has to rip it up. It's George. It's George Horn, Betty's husband. So we need someone that can really sell that heartbreak. I'm bringing you Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, Jurassic World fame, The
And-
Village.
Yeah, she can also cry on command. I am
that's
bringing
right.
you Emmy Rossum.
Dang it. Oh, that's tough. We don't talk about Emmy Rossum enough on this show.
Have we ever brought up
I don't
Bryce
think we
Dallas
have.
Howard?
'Cause
You're welcome.
maybe once or twice. Give me Emmy Rossum.
All right.
I love her too much in Phantom of the Opera, and then that TV show that she's been stuck in,
Shameless.
Shameless. So she's
Yeah.
really good in, but she just did that for forever.
Yeah.
Literally only like day after tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
That's
There you
fair.
go. All right, at shortstop, Ellen, Sue, Gottlander, Cory.
I'm getting her off. I'm gonna try and get her off the table early. I do not want this name to come up later. Margot
Okay.
Robbie.
What?
It just looks like it looks like Margot Robbie.
You're right.
We just need Miss Georgia,
I mean,
the
she's-
supermodel.
Dang it, man.
Okay, Allie, who do you have for it?
In honor of her new album dropping tonight, I'm bringing you Taylor Swift. Who also dropped two
good.
banger albums
She has
in
acted.
2020.
She's
yeah,
acted.
she's
She was
acted.
in Valentine's Day.
There's
Yeah.
not a,
Yeah.
but this role doesn't require
She's
a lot.
legal.
Like,
No,
you
it
could-
doesn't.
She's gotta be
She's legal.
within the
By our
confines.
rules. By our rules.
It's fair play. She's fair play by our rules in
We've
the
never
show.
determined if music videos count as acting credits.
No, she's acted.
but she's
Well,
been in a
also
movie.
She was in the Lorax as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, that's yeah. Cory, she's worked with Dan DeVito.
Let's really pump up a resume.
really
here.
big name.
Barbie. I'm trying to give you Barbie to play the Barbie of the of the Rockford Peaches. Oh, he's
Listen.
gonna use his override.
All right, I'm going Swiftie.
Heck yeah, you are.
Oh my
Heck
gosh!
yes, you are.
Please don't let Margot Robbie come up later. I'm so sick.
We
of
can
her.
talk about moving on.
I'm so sick of her face.
All right, Evelyn Gardner, right field. This is the longest 30 seconds or less of my life. Evelyn Gardner, right field. Cory.
This is Stillwell's mom, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It brings us on the
yes.
road.
So,
Cries. I need a crier.
I just need the
me a
iconic
crier.
line here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
bringing you Anna Kendrick.
Okay,
I want to see her as a mom.
There's so many actresses we don't talk about on this show now.
there you go.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Love some Anna Kendrick. Yeah. Allie.
I'm bringing you the one and only Florence Pugh. Because she's a crier.
She's known for the pout. No.
Pout.
She's a crier.
She's iconic.
Yeah, I gotta pick Florence Pugh.
Damn it!
I'm sorry, Cory. All right, Shirley Baker, left field.
Anna Kendrick, I tried. I know she listens, so I
Yeah,
tried.
she's really disappointed.
Shirley Baker was hard. She mainly just has like the couple of scenes, like the I can't read scene, and
Learning
she's
to
trying to
read,
read
yeah,
like
yeah.
like a
She's got
weird erotic novel.
Well, it's the great scene where she shows she doesn't know she made the team. They're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Oh,
"You
it's
made the-"
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so sad.
And like I'm just I don't know why I'm not. I feel like I'm insulting an actress by saying like I just thought of you as the one that can't read, but I'm just bringing you Mia Goth.
Oh.
It just seems
that's a
on
good
brand to have
one.
Mia Goth read
You
from an
know,
erotic
That's a
novel
good one.
in a kind of feel good movie.
Okay, yeah, I see. Okay, all right, okay. Allie?
I'm bringing you Julia Stiles.
Dang.
Because I could see her, especially in the overalls and everything in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
I
throwing it out there.
Crush on Julia Stiles. Still,
You learned that dance, didn't you, Cory?
I did.
No, I like Julia Stiles too, but I think Mia Goth, that was just that's on point.
Yeah,
that's really
that's
good.
fair.
Yeah, we'll get some horror fans in here.
And they're upset when they don't kill someone.
Yeah. And finally, to round it out, second base, Marla Hooch, Cory.
All right. Again, it feels insulting because it's the character that's considered ugly, and I'm not bringing you an
This
ugly
is an
actress.
all-star cast. We've thrown everything out the
Listen,
window.
I'm not bringing it, and I don't think that the actress that plays her is ugly by any means either. I just get it. They mouse up her hair and make her look
Yeah,
bad.
you can do makeup.
Kavanaugh's completely attractive woman, but I'm bringing what I think would be the power hitter.
Okay.
She's a big deal now, but in
Yeah.
2020 she's acting, but she's not Oscar nominated yet. I'm bringing you Lily Gladstone of Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay, I see. We get a little lead up to the Oscar nomination. Maybe
That way people recognize her when Killers of the Flower Moon comes out.
You know what Megan Kavanaugh's from that I recognize her from? From Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yep.
That's exactly what she's from.
She's
Yes.
also in Home Improvement. She ends up marrying Alan the last season.
You're right.
Yeah, she's Trudy, yeah.
Oh dang, Megan Kavanaugh.
Okay, well, Lily Gladstone. Okay, that's really good. Allie.
I am, again, I do not think she's ugly in any way, shape, or form, but with makeup and everything, I'm giving you Kristen Ritter.
Okay, yeah, from she's
She was in
Breaking
like Jessica,
Bad,
yeah,
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
She's been in a couple of things.
Okay, all right. So with my override here, no, I'm kidding. Rebel Wilson. No, I'm gonna go with Lily Gladstone. I think that's
Yeah.
a solid pick there, Cory, for sure.
Let's start her career, yeah.
just don't think Kristen Ritter's a power hitter.
That's true. Yeah,
That's fair.
You got to think about baseball terms, Allie because they did when they made
Allie,
this
let's
movie.
explain-
Mansplain to me.
Let me explain baseball to you.
I already warned you guys. I will punch you if you're gonna mansplain
Lily
baseball.
Gladstone's strike
to me.
zone's gonna be. She's short. All right, it's low to the ground.
Listen, Allie, I'm not even trying to mansplain to you because Penny Marshall herself made a mandate that they had to know ball basically to
That's
get
totally
into this
fair.
game.
No, that makes
She
sense.
had tryouts. Thousands of people came out. People auditioned and they didn't get roles because they didn't look like they could play baseball or they couldn't play baseball.
Honestly, I
wild.
appreciate the
Marissa Tomei filmed an audition tape on the set of My Cousin Vinny with Joe Pesci, and Penny Marshall didn't pick her because she just wasn't a ball player.
Wow, that's commitment, I
So
suppose.
Madonna can play baseball?
I guess so.
Again, we're just assuming.
Enough to get on this roster.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I like it. So
Starting off real strong here.
we are.
The who's who of 2020.
Wow. Okay. No, I like it. I don't think it looks bad right now.
It's good. Oh,
Nick's showing me what time it is in London for some reason.
just so you know, Ash is asleep right now.
Good night, Ash. Sweet dreams. All right. Okay. Cool. So that means we are at the top.
That's right.
Right. We're doing. Okay. So
It's time.
All right. The 5 roles we have deemed worth talking about is May. I didn't know she had a last name.
Morbido?
May Morbido, played by Madonna. Center field. Doris Murphy, third base, played by Rosie O'Donnell. And then Jimmy Dugan, the coach, played by Tom Hanks. Kitt Keller, the pitcher, played by Lori Petty. And then rounding out the top, Dottie Henson, catcher, Geena Davis.
That's right.
All right, so let's go back down to the bottom here. And cast May Morbido, director, it is in your hands.
That's right. We've got May Morbido, played by Madonna.
Hi, my name's May, and that's more than a name. That's an attitude.
If you don't know, she's just kind of the sex pot on the. That's really what her thing. She's kind of the one that leans into, like, once the cameras start showing up. She's the one that everybody kind of takes going like, oh, that's what we need to be doing a little bit. Is just kind of dressing this up a little bit because for a while they're not catching on, and like she's the one that just walks over and goes, "Hi, my name's May. I do this. That's what's up." And then she's also the one that kind of like instigates, like, let's go party and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, like,
Absolutely.
they're always having fun. They're always going out and getting in trouble and stuff. But it's a 1-2 punch with Rosie O'Donnell's Doris Murphy. Like, they're very much the Laurel and Hardy, Timon and Pumbaa of this movie.
Oh, I would have
Yeah.
watched an entire May and Doris movie.
1,000%
We
agree.
need the spinoff. That's what we needed. Madonna worked at least as hard as everyone else, but still struggled with some of the more technical aspects of the game. Her character had to be moved from third base to outfield because she couldn't master ground balls, Cory.
Penny Marshall said, "You're out. Get out."
Literally the outfield. Which is, being a former, young baseball player, that is where they put the lesser baseball players. They put me in right field. He can't mess up that bad. Get him out. Get him over there. It's perfect. So I understand. I feel that pain.
Oh, no, I played like shortstop or something.
So obviously this is a little bit of stunt casting, I feel like, to an extent, but at the same
You
time,
got a stupid song at the end.
you get a song at the end, but at the same time, like, she had to kind of earn her place. I
like it.
And she kind of has, it's not like she's just there, she has some lines she has to deliver. So.
I mean, Madonna was so huge, I bet she got more leniency than a Marissa Tomei.
For sure.
Yeah,
but they're
probably.
like, you have to do this.
you gotta go to training camp at least,
Yeah.
But no, and that's by no means, I don't think that's a necessity for the role, but it is what it is. That's just what it was at the time. So just whatever you guys are thinking, throw what you've got. Cory, you did 30 left to start with, so Allie, you're gonna go first. Who do you have for May?
Wasn't terrifying at all. So I went ahead and I stuck with the whole singer aspect of it because I thought it was
Okay.
interesting. Plus, I truly think that this woman is a wonderful actress, and I'm going to give you Lady Gaga.
Okay, interesting.
I think she's a good actress at least.
No, she is. She's a good actress.
Oh, she's a phenomenal
yeah,
actress.
she's great. I mean, she's got
Yeah.
Joker 2 coming out. We'll
Your
see how that
pauses
goes.
made me a little
No,
worried.
no. She's a phenomenal. No, it's
I think you brought this forward. I think this is definitely the person you think of because
Yes.
Gaga is constantly compared to Madonna.
she's
so.
the second coming of Madonna.
Oh, if I'm being completely honest, I didn't even think about that
Oh, really?
aspect.
Okay.
No, like for the record, that was not the reason why I chose her.
Well, I think it's just interesting. I mean, I think it seems like Cory also went to the same route. But like when I was looking at it, I think a lot of people will look at it and go like, you just put Lady Gaga there. So it makes
Yeah,
sense
I didn't even
logically.
think about
but,
that.
No, but I mean, it's not like she can't act or anything either. So
Yeah, for sure.
They're just two people that are compared to each other a lot.
I think Allie did what I did to a degree. and you just think about the scene where she's like, and oops, my bosoms fly out, and you can hear Lady Gaga saying it.
Yeah.
And that's how I did it with my actress. It was like, I want someone that can deliver that line really well.
Yeah.
And like, so I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Who did you bring us to counter Lady Gaga, Cory?
So if Madonna's a Pokemon, and there's a first phase and a second, and tell me if I'm wrong about Pokemon. I have no idea. There's phases, right? There's like
Evolutions, but
there's
yes.
3 things.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there's
Usually
It
there's
depends,
3
yeah.
steps, sometimes more.
okay, well, let's just say 3 here.
Yeah.
If Madonna's 1, Lady Gaga's 2, I'm bringing you Miley Cyrus, the third form.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
She has acted. She was Hannah Montana.
Right. What?
Oh my God, that was her.
I like it. Again, it's kind of the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know. To me, it's like Lady Gaga could go higher on this list. I think she's almost too good of an actress. So like, let's say here at May.
Okay.
I'm not saying I did
Well, Margot
it.
Robbie's
but-
really down low there, Cory. Trying.
It's Margot Robbie.
That was a strategy move.
But Margot Robbie looks exactly like the actress.
You just had to get a hot person. You just had to get Taylor Swift. It's a layup, Cory. That's the musician you put in here to put butts in seats. Have you seen the Swift Army, Cory? They're relentless.
Yeah, be careful.
I just like Miley Cyrus here because it'd be kind of a return to acting here. It would be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I thought about Lindsay Lohan for the same reasons. I was like, let's bring someone back.
Yeah.
Here,
A
you
little
know?
reboot, a little
Yeah, like
jump back in.
let's do a Bad Girl reboot. If we were in 2024, but let's get JoJo Seaweed in here, you know? She really wants to be bad. Like,
does.
Like, to a really annoying point.
She wants to be bad in like a way that like a good kid's like, no, I'm bad, I promise.
She's just short of smoking cigarettes in the ball pit at a Chuck E. Cheese and filming it just to be like, do you get it? I am a bad person. And then like put the cigarette out on a toddler. Like, and we're like, we get it. You are not a nice person anymore.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Cyrus.
okay.
You know.
Cyrus, Gaga. Your Pokemon, I get where you're going. Like, so yeah, like if I was to order it, I would almost say like, I don't even know. Like they're iterations, generational iterations of each other. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean we're like so far into art now. It's just like it's how do you take what this person did and repackage it?
For sure,
you know.
for
And
sure.
I think Lady Gaga did it really well, and I think she did it her own way.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus is more of like I think
She's
the
the
template
countrified
of what
version.
JoJo
Yeah.
is doing now, which is like, look, I was a Disney thing and now I'm not.
Yeah.
And so and yeah.
And at this point, she's past like the very outrageous side of herself,
Yes.
and she's post divorce with the Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know their
no.
divorce
We're in the-
timeline.
We're in the Flowers
Yeah, we're in the
era.
endgame.
Like
Yeah.
we're writing songs about Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I'm gonna go with Cyrus here.
That's fair.
Because I think she's gonna channel that era of Madonna a
Yeah.
little bit. The younger, like kind of just having fun, doing crazy things. Cory is
What
fist
was
pumping
that
in the air.
celebration?
Listen, don't question it.
I'm not.
Unless
I'm
you
not
can describe it
questioning
in perfect detail.
You do you.
Cory is celebrating his victory here. But no, I think obviously both of them can act, but I think Cyrus is going to have a lot of fun being that kind of like sex pot, but also like just the fun instigator of the group. I think that Gaga, I think she's in a mode right now of like leading actress, kind of more serious side of things. Not that she couldn't, but I just like the idea of Cyrus having fun here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I look forward to seeing who she's going to be paired with our next pick, Doris Murphy.
Let's play hard. Let's play smart. Use your head.
That's that lump 3 feet above our ass, right, Jimmy?
So third base, Doris Murphy, played by Rosie O'Donnell, who I think is like brilliant in this role.
Yeah,
she
I
does
agree.
so good.
She's
She does
great in it.
super good in it. And really, I think this is her first big role. Like, she has the Rosie O'Donnell show that goes on after this, I think. But this is, I think, her first, like, big, this is who she is.
I don't know much about Rosie O'Donnell now, but I miss her.
I do, too.
I watch this like, I miss Rosie O'Donnell.
Right. Like, for a while there, she was just, like, everybody's favorite.
I never felt
Yes.
that loss until I watched this movie. It's like, where did she go? And I miss her. It's like your gay aunt.
Yeah.
Who's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're just like, where's Aunt Rosie?
Yeah, so, like Flintstones, Harriet the Spy.
It's weird. She was a big part of our
She
childhood.
was a big
for
part
some
of
reason.
Nickelodeon. She hosted, I think, the Nickelodeon Awards for a while.
Probably. It wouldn't
several
surprise
times.
me.
My goodness. I just need to say that I miss Rosie O'Donnell for
miss
some
her.
reason.
We need her back.
I think she's on TikTok. I
Is
come
she?
across her videos every once in a while, and yeah, she seems. I really enjoy her
hope she's
stuff.
doing well.
I hope
hope
she's
so,
doing
too.
well as well. She seems to be, at least.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, Doris Murphy, Rosie O'Donnell, also in Tarzan, she got a voice actor.
Oh, that's right.
She did the whole 9 yards in the 90s. She's just kind of the Bronx-based tough broad of the team. You know, and best friend of Mate. Clearly, they've been on the road together, had their own adventures. We would love to see a TV show of that specifically. The filmmakers apparently reworked her part to fit her personality. She was originally going to be just another sex pot like Madonna's character.
Yeah. I'm so glad they changed that.
Yeah, and according to Rosie, the part was supposed to be much smaller, but Penny Marshall liked that she understood the Bronx accent, and so Marshall would occasionally just give her more scenes to play throughout the whole movie.
And I bet she was good at baseball.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently...
she's doing the bat stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, she's doing... Well, apparently her and... forgive me for looking up real quick. Lori Petty would have... competitions. They would have hitting competitions. So they were both like some of the better players on the team.
Okay.
So just some fun facts there for you. But what you're looking for, yeah, you need kind of the broad, the tough gal of the group, but also the one that kind of keeps the glue together a lot of the times. She's the one kind of helping. Like the funniest scene was she's holding the kid with Tom Hanks, and he's trying to get, what is it? He has like something in his mouth, or he's like not listening. He's like,
yes.
Where's your mother?
Yeah.
But she's a lot of sass, is what she is.
She's a lot of sass.
A lot of sass. So let's see, Cory, you made it, so you're gonna take it. So who is your Doris Murphy, Cory?
All right. Actually, I don't remember.
Cory.
Oh yeah, okay. No. I'm a huge fan of this actress.
Okay.
I feel like she was really coming on strong there a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what happened to her. She kind of went away.
Okay.
And it was hard. I really wanted to put Lena Dunham here because like she's weirdly on my list of like actors I'm trying to get into things.
Okay.
But I really want Beanie Feldstein here.
Oh, okay. I thought about her.
I want Beanie Feldstein.
Okay.
Lena's a little awkward.
A little awkward.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas I think Beanie will be able to really like to and fro with Miley Cyrus here.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think there'll be more chemistry.
For sure.
With Lena, I think it'd be almost like aggro alpha between the two, whereas Beanie's like, no, let's just play off
chummy,
each other.
very chummy.
Yeah, chummy.
Yeah. I mean, like Booksmart is what I think of immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
Booksmart was huge.
and
Yeah.
Lady
That's great.
Bird, you know, she does a great job
She's
being
awesome.
Jonah Hill's sister, turns out.
Yeah.
Okay, Allie, did you pick Melissa McCarthy? And if not, who
No,
is your
I
second choice?
did not. I'm so sorry. No, so I kind of went in a little bit of a different direction. I wanted to find somebody who I find intimidating when they. I wanted to find someone who's intimidating. So I went with Eliza Dushku.
I was about to say, that's
that her name?
This
Sorry,
is the women's
I don't-
baseball team, Allie.
I know, I'm so sorry. Eliza Dushku.
Okay, yeah.
I think just because she is very intimidating, but also I could see her as being, like you said, the glue to the whole team.
So you're taking her out of Tenet this year.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
is
no,
she-
that's a lie. I'm
I
kidding.
was-
I'm
oh
kidding.
my-
I'm thinking of someone else.
Bruh. I was about to say, I literally have an F next to her name because she was free this year.
Most
That
everyone's
scared
free,
me.
but Nolan, damn it, he was like, no, you all are not free this year.
I am going to save the movie theater.
Bro.
We're going to get Tom Cruise in a theater clapping at this movie on
This is the
on
most
internet.
confusing movie I've ever made, but I will put it in theaters, by God. But no, she's known for Bring It On, Dollhouse, the Buffy series. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, she has some toughness to her. She's
Yeah.
definitely could lean into that side of it for sure.
Yeah.
I think we gotta go with Beanie.
I think I like that one more too, if I'm being honest.
especially if you've seen her in Drive Away Dolls this year. She's
that's
so
right.
good in it.
I was trying to remember which movie it was because I knew.
She has a small role, Cory, as like a cop. It turns. And
Yes, that's right.
It's so good.
It is good.
And if you haven't seen Drive Away Dolls, it's a lot of fun. You should definitely check it out for sure. But yeah, Beanie Feldstein, Goldstein. Where's that coming from? But anyway, moving forward. So this is the big one. You're about to change someone's life potentially with this one, guys. We're gonna get Jimmy Dugan out of the way.
Baseball is what gets inside you. It's what lights you up. You can't deny that.
It just got too hard.
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it.
The head coach of the ball team, Jimmy Dugan, played by Tom Hanks. As we have talked previously, this is the run of potentially runs that we are coming across with him. If you say Tom Hanks, I don't have to say what movies, and you have a favorite of his probably. But Jimmy is a washed-up former player, initially sent there to sell tickets. Over time, the team kind of helps him overcome his issues. He realizes like how much they care about it, so it makes him care about it. And like it's fun to see him slowly get to know the girls and adapt and help out. And then there's kind of a will they won't they with Dottie at the end. And then so you kind of feel kind of like, well, what could have been really once Bill Pullman shows up and just steals all his thunder.
They do well with planting the seeds.
Yes.
Of like, and it's almost to the point that every time I watch this movie, I was like, I don't know if he actually likes Dottie or if we just want it or what?
Well,
They just
yeah.
enough harmless flirtation in the one bus scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
yeah.
you're like,
It reminds me a little bit of Glow. If you ever watch Glow with so the Alison Brie and then Mark Maron character, like there's obviously a lot more hinting of like, oh, they might end up together, but like the dynamic of working together and realizing like, they talk about like the show they're putting on here, they're talking about like their baseball strategies and stuff like that.
that, and like you're also getting more character development in the character of Jimmy, in that not only is he washed up, he can't even serve his country.
Right.
Like it's now adding on to like why he is the way he is. Like he's like, well, I have flat feet, and for some reason need good feet to shoot Nazis, and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that like they do just enough, but they don't pull the trigger, even though apparently the studio wanted them to end up together.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't, though.
Yeah, apparently they want them together, and there's even a kiss planned at one point. And Penny Marshall didn't want to distract audiences with a love story, and then didn't want the main protagonist to cheat on her husband serving overseas. Kind of a
Because then you don't like her.
Yeah,
You're
then
like,
you're
oh,
like-
I hate this character.
You're like, surprise, I'm back home.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
His character is based loosely on baseball sluggers Jimmy Fox and Hack Wilson. Not even Tom Hanks knew he was going to be done peeing in that scene when he shows up.
The pee scene.
Yeah, Penny Marshall was in a stall with a hose and a bucket making the noise.
Oh my god.
So you just had to keep going.
Just had to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
He gained 30 pounds in preparation for the role, attributed a lot of the weight he gained to a nearby Dairy Queen. So shout out to Dairy Queen.
Nice.
During filming, Penny Marshall encouraged him to keep eating.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
And by the way, Tom Hanks' favorite movie of his own is A League of Their Own.
Oh, interesting.
We're messing with Tom's favorite movie.
Oh,
right.
no.
Also a listener, so
So Tom,
Yeah.
this
Sorry,
is for you,
Tom.
buddy. You guys-
sorry. We've already wrecked Sleepless in Seattle. See what damage we can do to A League of Their
Keep
Own.
it going. But I mean, it makes sense when you put it into context of like this was kind of a career-defining moment for him, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, Cory, you made that one. You're heating up. So who do you have for Jimmy Dugan?
I did not need to go first on this one. I really needed to see how Allie played this.
You played yourself.
Oh man, I celebrated early. Crap.
This is where we really could introduce the role of like pass.
I don't even know what to do here. All my plan was to just follow Allie's lead. Oh crap. Okay, I can either go.
Maybe if you ask nicely, Allie will go first for you.
Allie, you want to go first?
Just so long as Nick doesn't choose his choice over mine.
Okay, wait, we can't do that.
I'll go first.
Do you have
though,
a
if
name? Do you have one name?
Yeah,
Okay,
got a
I've got
name.
6, so I need to see where you go.
Okay, I'll go. All right, so I'll just come out and say it. I'm putting Adam Driver in here.
Ooh. Actually on my list, so we'll just take
There
that
we
one
go.
right
One
off.
down.
We'll just take him off.
Yeah, I think that he would be able to handle the entire role very well. I mean, we've seen the range. I mean, the dude is
Yeah.
insanely talented.
For sure.
And also I just love rooting for Adam Driver. Let's just be real here. And I think he would play the
He's likable.
He's a
Yeah.
he's a
That's
likable
why
person.
I put him on my list. He's likable.
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah.
you go from like, Kylo Ren, evil, has an arc going on, storyline.
But you're
and then-
kind of rooting for him the whole time.
Right.
You're
You
like,
are,
man, he's
because
got
he's so
grandpa
complex.
issues.
Or
Yeah.
even in a Marriage Story, like where it's like
Oh,
it's this
God.
very crazy thing going on, and like even though he's so frustrated, and he has a lot of low moments and bad moments where you're like, oh, that was a bad. You shouldn't have done that, Adam. Like
Yes.
you're still like, I still like him, and I still want him to do well.
And also the comedic portions of
Yes.
it too. We've seen on SNL.
That's
the dude
right.
is hysterical.
He is.
He's got great
got-
comedic
yeah,
timing.
He's got great chops.
Yeah.
SNL's been really pulling
Oh,
some people
man.
out and going like, hey, I'm funny, by the way.
Dude, oh my gosh, it's been fun to watch lately.
For sure.
But yes, that's my pick, Cory.
Okay, I like that. That's a good solid pick for our Tom Hanks role, Jimmy
Yeah.
Dugan. Okay, Cory, I know you've got a lot of names.
I'm going to do this as dramatically as possible.
Oh god.
Okay,
It is not going to be Chris Evans.
got it.
Erased.
Erased. He's already served his time in World War II.
Yes, he's currently overseas fighting Hitler,
Punching Hitler
while
in the
this
face.
movie
Yes.
is happening. So
Or in the ice. Yeah.
Yes, or Frozen. It's not going to be Josh Brolin.
Okay.
Gone.
He's too busy collecting
That
stones.
was one of my picks. Yeah.
Okay. Also a great SNL appearance.
Yes.
It's not going to be Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, you're not going to save him from Doolittle.
I'm not going to save him from Doolittle. It's old. He's too old. I
you
think
can
he's
have
just
him
a little.
older.
He's just right there. He's just
On the
there.
cusp.
I just don't think he can be the washed up. Even like Tom Hanks thought he was too young to play the role, and Penny said he's not old. He's just washed up. There's even dialogue that says he would still be playing.
Because Downey's
if he didn't have the injury.
He's getting up there at that point. Yeah, that's fair, but would be pretty good.
So I've got 2 guys here, and what I'm terrified of is Margot Robbie is still in play,
In the back of my pocket somewhere.
and I don't need her freaking Barbie counterpart
Oh.
possibly ending up,
Man,
because Ryan Gosling would be great.
he would be great.
He's hilarious, but he's too good looking. He's gone. We can't make him look washed up. Even in Notebook, when he's like supposed to be washed up building a house with a beard, you're like, nah, he's still pretty doable.
He's a babe and a half in that movie.
He still looks really good.
Oh.
So I'm bringing you one Tom Hardy.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I'm going with Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy can play washed up real well.
He
He can.
He looks washed up at all times.
In all moments of life.
Yes.
He is the closest thing we have to a true character actor.
Yes.
Even though he has leading man looks.
Yes.
Like, and that's a problem with Hollywood because everybody looks like pretty.
Yeah.
And so I think he goes out of his way. He's like, I have to be as ugly as I possibly can be.
But he looks like he pulled a great-looking guy out of a bare-knuckle boxing pub in
For sure.
Ireland or something. He just
Yeah.
looks gritty. But I also think he's capable of being funny in his own way.
Yeah,
like,
he
we
is.
got the Venom movies where he has to be kind of funny.
Yeah, he
you know,
does
has
really
to-
well, like better than
Yes.
expected in
Yeah.
that situation.
And he's just a phenomenal actor, so I think he can do whatever we need him to do.
yeah.
So that's why I wanted Gerard Butler. I just don't think he can do an American accent.
Yeah.
It's very
When he tries,
when
it's
he-
not great.
It's not great. It's passable at best.
And I just think I don't want that. I just don't want a movie where we're like watching a guy really try
Struggle.
to bury his
Yeah.
Irish accent the whole movie.
That's fair.
He does well in the movies in which he needs to, but it's just like...
He just never got out of that 300 shadow.
It's just there.
It's just there.
And so I'm bringing it Tom Hardy.
Okay,
It's a
Tom
little
Hardy.
shot in the dark, but I would have played Gosling if Margot Robbie wasn't still on the board.
So you're trying to put all the blame on me, is what
Yes,
you're saying.
yes. The reason Ryan Gosling, who is a fan of the show and listening,
Notable
the reason
fan of the
you're
show, Ryan
not
Gosling.
in this movie is because I'm just trying to avoid a pre-Barbie pairing. I'm trying to prevent the magic from being ruined right now.
And you don't even like Barbie.
It's okay. It's all right.
Aw,
I don't love
man.
it.
Corey.
It's just the movie doesn't know what it is. It just changes constantly. When it became a Will Ferrell movie, I was like, oh, come on.
Allie is
It's
facepalming
so much more
through the
than that,
table right
though.
now.
And okay,
Bruh.
just real quick. How do you feel about the fact that the Barbie movie really got overshadowed by Ken, which is against the entire message of the movie?
Yeah, and that's one of the things about it is like, oh yeah, of course the man in the movie is the one that
Performing at the Oscars and the guy we love.
Getting the
The
nomination.
character you just love the,
The
whole
direct-
time.
I don't
the
even want to.
director
Don't
and
even
the
bring
actress
that up
don't
to
even
me.
get nominated.
It's
Bro,
just, it's
that
one of
was
those movies
so
where I'm like, it's a
frustrating.
fun movie, and I'd probably really love it if I grew up with Barbies and like had that nostalgia kick. But I was like, the movie kind of backfired in its own way, with Ryan Gosling coming out on top.
Just shows
no
the
one
problem.
no one got the message.
I think we're getting the message very clearly, Corey.
It was the best part of the Oscars. Was the song.
Fair.
And this was a good Oscars
It
too.
was a good
it was a fun
Oscars.
one.
All right. So, anyways, Gosling's off the board. Sorry, Gosling. So
He's just
He's
punching the
slapping
wall.
his knee
yeah.
right now.
yeah, he's probably just like, okay.
Okay. So Tom Hardy, no Capone for him this year, which I
No.
didn't even watch, but
It bombed.
I'm sure he was great. Movie didn't seem like it took off like
It's
it
like
should have.
Leo's J. Edgar Hoover
Yeah.
movie. It's like
Yes.
that probably might have been good, but I'm not gonna watch it because
Yeah.
no one
No.
talked
No.
about it. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go Driver here.
I don't blame you.
Because I think I like the visual of Tom Hardy in the role.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he's going to be the likable and really nail a lot of those scenes of the humor is what's been going through my head. Like the no crying in baseball scene. Like Driver's, his pensive, like built-in rage, like trying, especially the second
Oh
time.
no, he's gonna nail
He's
that.
gonna nail
I can't
that.
argue with it because he was on my list.
Yeah.
Here's the reason he was low on my list is those ears are gonna shoot out a mile when he's wearing a baseball hat.
Oh my god. Corey.
We'll have some...
There's a reason he sticks to long hair.
We'll save some money for the CGI to
Yeah,
take
we
down
just
the
need to
ears.
keep him in some longer hair.
Some
Like,
longer
it's
hair.
the washed up look.
He looks best with longer,
So-
some mid-length hair. Yeah, yeah.
He is
God.
unconventionally handsome.
Yeah,
True,
he is.
very true.
So
But no, I think for the reasons we spoke about, like trying to find that balance between drama and humor,
he kind of nails it.
making him a potential love interest to the Dottie that we'll cast here in a second. I think all those things considered, I think Adam's going to knock it out of the park.
Adam, I know you're listening. Please don't take the ear comment personally. Before we recorded, I said Kylo Ren's the greatest Star Wars character of all time.
That's true. It's
I
balanced.
said it.
He
I
did
said
balance
it.
in the
So
Force.
I've thrown you
Balance.
some pretty good compliments here.
It's true. That's true.
So
Okay, well, put Adam Driver on the board, and we're going to head to the top for our top two ladies, starting with Kitt Keller.
Lay off of those high ones.
I like the high one.
Mule.
Nag.
Kitt Keller, the pitcher of the team, played great by Lori Petty. She's the little sister of Dottie. She's pretty much out to prove herself and get out from under her sister's shadow.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's the whole arc.
It's the whole arc.
Yeah.
If you've been a sibling with an older sibling, you get it. And it's also because Dottie is generally just great at everything she does. She's the one that everybody's eyes are on, and Kitt's just the entire time is just trying to prove herself to everybody and to herself too a lot of the time. And I'm glad that she won at the end of the series. Like, I'm glad that she got that big moment because she was like, it might have been slight overacting, but she was just like feeling it after she blew the pitch there at towards the end, and she got to hit the in the park home run, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Sean Young and Demi Moore were both considered for Dottie. Moore even signed on, but had to back out because she was pregnant. Penny Marshall remarked that Bruce literally screwed her out of the part.
Oh, Brucey boy.
But Lori Petty was the only girl on a boys' team growing up.
Oh, that's
Some
cool.
Caitlin Clark going on here. And as we said, she and Rosie O'Donnell had hitting competitions and stuff. Lori is, in fact, in reality, faster runner than Geena Davis and had to slow down while appearing like she was running at full speed at the beginning when they have the race to the house.
Oh, yeah.
But she constantly had to bite. We talked earlier about John Lovitz. She had to bite her tongue in those scenes because he was being so funny to the point where she bled.
Of course he was.
Yeah, which makes sense.
She related to her character because she was new to movie making and she was just trying to hold her own with Geena Davis.
No lie, that woman's just like coming off an Oscar.
Yeah. And on set, Geena Davis wanted to take care of Lori Petty and she wanted to take her under her wing and be the big sister. So
Oh,
of
that's
course,
sweet.
Geena Davis did.
She's just mad to
Yeah.
stop.
too nice. You too great. Okay, we spelt it out enough. Al, you made it.
I did.
Who is your Kitt Killer?
I'm gonna be honest. I had a lot of trouble with Kitt Keller and with Dottie.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna throw it on out here. I am gonna give you Rooney Mara or Mara, however you say her last name.
I'm gonna go with Mara.
Mara, I think that's what it is. But I just think she would be really interesting in the role.
Okay.
Yeah. I think she'd be fun.
Yeah,
It'd be fun to watch
Rooney
her.
Mara, for those that don't know, she's one of two Mara sisters.
She is.
And Rooney was in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo remake a few years back with Daniel Craig. She's known mainly for that one. And then she's actually married, dating Joaquin Phoenix.
I believe they're partner. I think they're
Are they
together for
really?
sure.
Yeah, she was
Because
in...
they were in Her together. I didn't.
Yes.
That's crazy. I didn't realize they
Yeah.
were actually together.
Mhm. And then she was in Carol with Kate Blanchett a few years
Yes,
ago,
yeah.
as well as The Social Network. She's in the very iconic
That's right.
opening scene where she's just like, it's not because you're a nerd, it's because you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And that is ringing true so hard
Yes.
in the future.
Absolutely. But yeah.
But yeah, no, I think she's a great multifaceted actress. I can
Agreed.
easily see her being like the tomboy out to prove herself in this role. She's great. I think that's a great first pick. Cory, who is your counter to Rooney Mara?
Hold on, let me. I
Cory is-
changed this cast list so many times.
You're like, I thought it was this person, but I changed my
All right.
mind.
This is how dedicated I am
Oh,
to
okay.
this podcast.
Okay.
And getting a great cast for League of Their Own.
Okay.
The best movie I saw in 2020 was Underwater.
Oh.
It's probably the best movie I've seen in the last few years in terms of horror.
That's fair.
I'm bringing you Kristen Stewart.
Dang, man.
That's pretty good.
It's Kristen Stewart, man.
It's a good movie.
She's-
and she's great.
She's like, I don't know. She's like
No, I see it. I get
Lori
it.
Petty.
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
it.
Listen, she's having a run right now. She was in.
if they made Tank Girl now, it would be
Kristen
Stewart.
Stewart. Yeah.
Yes.
She was in Love Lies Bleeding, which was a wild movie, really fun.
Yeah.
Does really good there. She and Robert Pattinson have done the best job of wiping off franchise fatigue from their Twilight years.
I mean, Anna Kendrick was in those movies
And
too,
Anna
though.
Kendrick, yeah, like everybody generally did okay. Nobody really. I can't think of anybody that like suffered and got stuck.
R.I.P.
Maybe. Okay, wait.
Lautner.
Lautner. He
R.I.P.
took the
Lautner.
L.
I was gonna say,
He
poor
took the L.
Taylor
He was
Lautner.
the sacrifice. Rest in peace, Wolf Clan, or whatever y'all call yourselves. I didn't watch those movies, but
It wasn't Team Jacob. Come on now.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
Kristen Stewart.
That's a good one. That's a really good pick.
I don't even know how to sell it other than it's just Kristen
it's
Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
It's-
She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is her.
This is her time. This is her era.
I'm willing to kill Underwater. I don't know
You
how
are.
you
You're
are.
willing-
It's just I'm throwing
Now,
it out there.
Have you seen You haven't
Yeah,
seen
no,
it.
I've seen
You have
Underwater. I have
Okay,
seen it.
okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
just at first the title didn't click for
She
some
does
reason.
so good in it too.
She's great in it. It's a really underrated movie. Highly recommend.
Rooney and I don't think Rooney's doing anything this year.
Nope, she's free.
Free agent. Man. I think it's got to be Kristen Stewart.
Dang it!
I think it's got to be. As much as I really enjoyed Underwater, I do think that movie is like solid, and I think her performance carries it a lot.
Agreed.
But I think there's as we have seen.
I'm
through
just saying, I
this-
think we could throw Emma Watson in Underwater, and it would be great.
Emma Watson, Margot Robbie.
love Emma Watson.
Any of the names we've listed here.
I thought about Emma Watson for this role, but I don't think she can play baseball.
I think
She's English.
She also doesn't do a great American accent.
Cricket
Not to be
exists,
mean or
guy.
anything
Whoa,
like that.
What was the movie that she did?
She was in Perks of Being a
Yeah,
Wallflower,
she did
but
great in that.
no, she was a great actress, but her accent, I could tell she.
She has not done great with the franchise fatigue. She is still Hermione Granger.
That's just because it's such an iconic
It's
role.
such an iconic role.
She got rid of the curls. She cut her hair short. Did the pixie cut.
She got
She's the face
she got
of
Weasleyed,
Prada.
man.
To what?
She got Weasleyed.
She got.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Ron took her down with her.
No,
Man.
And Radcliffe is keeping his distance.
Oh man.
He's like, what's the weirdest role you can give me? Weird Al Yankovic. So now that you mention it, signed.
Oh, that's such
Well,
a
we
fun
got a
movie.
character you can have guns for hands.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Horns? Horns demon? Yeah.
A
Okay.
farting corpse? Like,
Exactly.
Okay, Kirsten Stewart, write it down.
I
can't
did.
believe we destroyed Underwater. One of the only films that came out in
came out
2020.
in 2020.
It's okay. I think the last time I was on this podcast, I'd burned the 70s down. So
Well, I think that's the thing
Fine.
about why we keep coming back to 2020 is because there are so many great actresses that we want to cast and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's so many franchises and Marvel movies and crap that you're like, well, they're busy. Well, they're busy. Well, they're busy. And so it's hard to like find time to cast half of these people. So I'm glad that we're doing this because you're finally getting to be like her and her and her and her. They're free.
Yeah.
So. All right, this is the last one, top of the list. Number 1 on the call sheet, Dottie Henson.
Does he know how good you are?
Bob,
No, Hitler. Yes, Bob.
how good am I?
You stink. You're lousy. You're only the best player in the league.
Played by the great Geena Davis, who also was a staple of the 90s. People will know her from this movie. She was in Beetlejuice, on top of many other movies, A Long Kiss Goodnight, The Fly, Thelma and Louise, how can I forget that? And then went on to become Stuart Little's mom.
Yep.
And then was also Commander-in-Chief. She's played the president on a TV show before.
she has.
And recently she was in Glow. And then she was a voice actress for She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. So if you have a Netflix, go watch that if you want some Geena Davis in your life. Fun fact, she spells Geena Geena, yes, Davis, because her mom was afraid that people would call her Gina. Literally out of what she said. It's like, I don't know if anybody was going to... I might have made that mistake because I'm bad at reading names.
I think maybe was she thinking about bullies?
Maybe,
like people
yeah.
But a good bully is just going to call her Vagina.
Gotta get creative here.
Any bully worth
Yeah.
his salt figured his way around that one.
Right, it's like, oh, that was easy. Oh, you thought you were smart?
Hey, everyone, look, it's Geena Davis.
No.
That's worse.
So Geena joined the production late as a replacement for Deborah Winger a few days before filming.
Oh, that is a good get.
Winger backed out because Madonna was cast.
oh.
Whoa, so there's some Deborah Winger,
Apparently
Madonna
some
beef we don't
going
know
on.
about.
Yeah. But Geena auditioned in Penny's backyard, so she still had to prove she could throw a baseball. But her character was supposed to be one of the greatest female baseball players in America, and the cast had been doing all the training. But within weeks, Davis had mastered the game and was better than most of her co-stars.
That seems right.
Are we
I was-
surprised?
Well, because isn't she like a master at archery and stuff like
Probably.
that? So
Probably.
I'm
I
pretty sure
believe
she
you.
went. I think she went to the Olympics.
What?
I think I could be wrong about that.
Geena
I
Davis.
That sounds made up.
I
Hold
feel,
on,
No,
that-
I'm telling you. I
Geena
swear.
Davis, master archery? Hold on,
Yeah,
we have to
she's-
pause and look this up really quick. Archery, Geena Davis, archery skills.
She's fluent in Swedish.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, she vied
Oh.
for a semifinals berth in the U.S. Olympic archery team to participate in the Sydney 2000 Summer Olympics.
Yeah, she was a semifinalist to be on the Olympic archery
Yeah.
team.
Still,
That makes her
still,
a master archer.
Still. You almost got picked.
I'm just saying.
Goodness gracious. Geena Davis can do anything, apparently. But she's, the best player on the team. She becomes the leader and temporary coach while Jimmy is kind of incapacitated. Not sober, excuse me. Farrah Fawcett wanted to try out for the role and wanted to take part just in any role, but she was, Penny Marshall said she was slightly too old. So Penny took this seriously, guys. Brooke Shields was offered the role, but after the writer's strike in '88, she was written out to be replaced by Winger. And then when Winger left, Geena Davis got the call up. She got the ear, whatever, it's hand signal.
Yeah,
bring
the
her out,
little-
ready to go, even though she's playing catcher. But so yeah, Geena Davis, she really is kind of like the leader of this team, and she fits so well into this aesthetic. Like she's got that just very old Hollywood style look about her, but she does so well being like the boss, and just maybe because she's tall, I don't know, but she does such a good job like being like, okay guys, let's figure this out. On top of like being able to like cut wits with Tom Hanks throughout the whole movie as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's who we've got.
I'm just reading all about
Corey's
Davis
just
right now.
He's getting
Yeah.
into the Geena Davis lore.
Was unaware she dated or was married to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was engaged to Shooter McGavin.
To Shooter McGavin?
Yeah.
Shooter McGavin
Like,
playing
back in
way
90
above his league.
Yeah, back in 1984 too, man. He's coming off Grease 2 looking like a real winner, and he bags Geena Davis. Point Grease 2.
And add it to the
Oh
column.
my goodness.
Corey,
Yes.
who do you have? You made it.
I didn't mean to sidetrack us.
I
Sorry
didn't mean
about
to
that,
go off on
y'all.
a tangent. I felt like it was. We went on a Tom Hanks tangent.
I don't even
We needed
know.
a Geena Davis
I gotta look
tangent.
at my actress. I don't think she's good at anything
don't think-
other than acting. Oh, nope. Nope.
Oh, wait.
I'm bringing a heavy hitter here.
Okay.
Good at acting
Okay.
and singing. This is where I threw Lady Gaga.
Oh.
Here's my thing.
Okay. All right. I'm listening.
Here's my thing. Geena Davis. Okay, Dottie Henson. I'm gonna go on record and say this is probably the hardest role I've ever had to cast on this podcast.
Okay.
I mean, there's things we revere like Jack Sparrow and Willy Wonka and things.
Yeah.
You know, but like this character's so well written.
Yes.
Like every single layer works well.
Yeah.
In the sense that like she's the older sister. We don't know what's happening to their parents, by the way. Like, did they ever mention why their parents are just not around?
I don't think
Okay.
so.
I think they're just running a farm, man.
Okay,
Yeah, they're just living,
but it
vibing.
seems like she's doing the raising of the kid sister. The kid sister's in the shadow. But like, okay, so I'm not going to spoil it because it's real new. But there's a sports movie that came out this year in which it was emotionally charged because the main character bites his tongue for 2.5 hours, and at the end, when he cries, we all die inside.
Oh, right.
That's what happens in this movie. Geena Davis is a character who's putting the burdens of the world on her shoulder and her little sisters. Her little sister's hating her for it. She's she's the team leader.
Yeah.
She's the locker room leader, and she doesn't cry until the end. She shows no emotion. She's like essentially pulling all this stuff until she almost thinks that her husband's dead, and then she finally breaks.
Yeah.
You know? And so, like, I love this character.
Yeah.
I needed a really heavy actor for this, but I also just, I don't know, Lady Gaga to me is a brilliant actor. I think, like, you watch the Bradley Cooper movie that's been remade like 8 times.
A Star is Born.
Star is
yeah.
Born. That is next level. And I really do think Lady Gaga could bring a lot to this role. I think she's classically pretty. Like, she has this kind of old-timey classic prettiness to her.
Okay, yeah.
And in a lot of ways, Geena Davis, it's not the big thing, but like, and they never say it blatantly, but I think the Kid Sister's also living in the shadow of the fact that Geena Davis is very pretty and gorgeous.
Yeah. No, for
You
sure.
know, like
for sure.
when they're doing the model school, they look at her and go, very nice, you
Yeah,
know, and things
yeah.
like that. And so, like, I think Lady Gaga is that.
Okay.
I can see
So,
that.
I'm going against type here. I'm not putting
Yeah.
it's not May, it's Dottie. And I think her and Kristen Stewart will have, like, a lot of that cool chemistry.
Okay.
Older sister, little sister.
Yeah.
Because they're both counterculture anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Allie, while I ponder
hates
Corey's
it.
pick, who do you have?
If Margot Robbie ends up in this movie, I will break
Well,
everything
funny
in this
that you
room.
say that, Cor. I'm just kidding. No, I decided to go with somebody else. She was in 2 movies this year. She was in,
Whoa.
yeah.
Someone was in 2 movies in 2020?
I don't think it's anything she'd brag about. But yes, she was in Cajillionaire and also
Who could forget?
is it Vienna? And I can't read my handwriting. She's in 2 movies this year, but I'm bringing you Evan Rachel Wood.
Ah, Dolores herself of
Dolores
Westworld.
from Westworld. She's also in 13.
Yes.
Apparently, she's in Practical Magic. I've never seen it though. She's in Shark Bait.
Yes, she was also in
Great
Across
movie.
the Universe,
Across
the
the
Beatles
Universe,
musical
yes.
movie.
She
Yeah,
was
so she's
married to
been-
Marilyn Manson.
We don't talk about.
We don't talk
that.
about that. And
She was also in the Weird Al movie.
That's right. She was Madonna.
She was. Oh my god.
She was Madonna.
Again, completely did not mean this. I need to do my research better. I didn't think about that.
That's right. Madonna.
Yeah, that tie-in was totally
okay.
intentional.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting. Plus, I would agree that I think that her and Kristen Stewart would work really well
Yeah,
with each other.
probably, honestly.
Yeah. I do like Evan Rachel Wood a lot.
He's not considering either of our options. Been on this podcast for a long time. This is where he's just complimenting us before
He's just,
he
the
throws
pat on the
his
head.
throws a stupid override down.
Oh my goodness.
What's interesting is like
He just ignored it.
I do have it in my back pocket, and I've sat there with it, but it hasn't just been Margot that's been sitting there in the back pocket, because I whittled it down to 2 people. In my mind, I had her, and I was also considering Brie Larson on top of it. I felt like she kind of has some of the Geena Davis vibes of like, especially when she's playing Captain Marvel, of like this a little more stoic, a little more hard nosed, and like is trying to play it well.
I bounced her around as Kitt. My problem is I don't see Brie Larson as older. And she always just seems more young than she is.
I
don't know why. I know she's the right age.
I think
she just seems.
she does look younger. Evan Rachel Wood can kind of play up a little bit of age, but she also just always looks gorgeous as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think you take any of those 4 people that we've mentioned and they fit into this aesthetic like we talked about. I think that's, and then also just playing like the lead, the main player, the best athlete, on the team.
Nick, I'm ready. Taking a deep breath. It's okay.
Are you sure?
It's fine. It's what you want. I can tell.
Just put Margot Robbie in. Let's be done with it. I think she can nail the role. My hands on the chessboard still.
No, it's fine. Just take it off. I can live with it.
This is
I can live
so
with it.
dramatic.
No, I just saw it coming and I tried to
I'm
kill
just saying
it.
the whole situation in general, not just
It's fine.
you.
It's fine.
But
You know what?
Just
We
when
get-
you're
we get
describing
the
Geena
Tom-
Davis and you're describing like who she is, you're describing the character. It's like who's Kristen Stewart gonna hate more? I ask you.
I get that. I think you're creating more of an antithesis there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's the idea that's in my
It's
brain.
the indie darling versus the mainstream.
Right.
darling.
Yeah. And it's gonna be fireworks with both of them in that role too. And he got Adam Driver hanging out. Let's look at this final cast. Let's move on from. I don't want to hurt Cory's feelings anymore by saying something I don't intend to say at all. From the bottom to the top, the final cast for A League of Their Own 2020. At the bottom, Ernie Capadino, Nate Bartgates. Is that how you say his name?
Bargatze.
Bargatze.
Yeah.
See, I'm terrible at names.
Awesome.
I was doing well until then. Ira Lowenstein. Michael Fassbender is going to class it up a little bit. For Bob Henson, we got John Krasinski, because that just makes sense.
Yep.
Betty Horn, Emmy Rossum, because we love us some Emmy Rossum. That's going to be great. She's going to cry a lot when her husband dies. Ellen Sue, Taylor Swift, because blonde, all-American, it makes sense.
And new album.
And new album
dropping tonight.
Yeah, dropping tonight. Not in 2020, but tonight, hey. Evelyn Gardner, Florence Pugh's going to give us a pout face. It's going to be great. Mia Goth is going to play Shirley Baker, and that's going to be right on. Cory nailed that one for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And then Marla Hooch, Lily Gladstone. We're going to get her some action before Killers of the Flower Moon. And then at the top, May will be played by Miley Cyrus. She's going to have a lot of fun in that role, I think. Doris will be played by Beanie Feldstein. That's going to be great.
Yeah,
gonna
that's gonna be a
her,
good one.
Her and Miley Cyrus, that's going to be a great pair. I'm actually excited for that. Jimmy Dugan, Adam Driver, I think he's going to nail that. He's going to be funny, charming, likable, and you're still going to laugh at him when he's being a drunk idiot at the beginning.
Yeah, right,
Yep.
Nick.
Kit Keller, Kristen Stewart, because what need I say more? And at the top, gonna go Dottie Henson, played by Margot Robbie.
So dumb. Everything up was just awesome. Everything was so good. It was so good. I was so proud of this cast. Thought Allie and I crafted something wonderful.
Then Nick had to go in. Just
And,
kidding.
Hey, I forgot. Is the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie precious to anyone?
That was the thing that I thought about too. That was what was really on my mind a lot as well. She has other movies where she gets to play it, and I feel like James Gunn's also helps kind of redeem. Not that the character needed redemption from the original Suicide Squad, but at least went, hey, she was the best part of that movie, and she's still a great part of that movie. And that role really helps go like she's not just I'm Harley and crazy and sexy. Like they added the depth to it, which I felt like Birds of Prey did as well a little bit, but it is what it is.
That's all right.
So
I think Lady Gaga will redefine the role in the same way she would have redefined Dottie Henson.
that's right. We pitted Harley Quinns against each other. I didn't do my research.
Yeah, it's fine. I do. I have a sports question.
Okay.
What's the flippin' trade day line in girls baseball? Because they traded a girl right before the World Series. That seems unfair.
I don't know if they had anything in place. At
Okay,
that
they
time.
just think they were just making it up as they went.
Maybe they just made it up as they went. Because I do remember that
It's the first time I've ever thought about it until last night when they traded to the other World Series teams. Like, that just seems like that should not be allowed right now.
at all. Like
Yeah.
if anything, you just pull her. You go, you're off the road, kid. We're not going to play you for the game. We'll trade you later for some. Because I don't even know what they got back. They got
Nothing. There's no new people.
They needed a hitter.
They just kicked her out. You lost Marla.
Clearly, this team was terribly managed.
Well,
They got to the championship despite all odds.
Oh man. All right. That's fair. I'm okay with it.
I'm sorry, Cory.
No, Margot's. It's not bad for the role. She's good for the role. I just out of her face.
I'm sure she's going to go away for a while. It'll be fine.
She doesn't listen to this podcast, so I can say whatever I want. Margot's not a listener. So,
dang.
All right. No, I like it. I think it's good.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, I
I
like
think it's a good cast.
I like it.
Solid.
No, for sure. You know, okay, so that's the League of Their Own 2020 because, hey, it's the 2020s now. Women's sports is on the up. It's the best part of pro wrestling, and Caitlin Clark's a thing.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I literally hear people talking about women's basketball out in the wild now in public at coffee shops. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
So, hey, we're on brand. So, again, thank you for listening. That is a League of Their Own 2020. I'm sorry for Nick. Apologize up front. So, it's fine. I'm gonna be saying it's fine for a few days. So, but we are on all social media. Please come engage with us. We will see you next time. Do we know what episode's coming up? Do we announce those still? I don't even know what's coming up.
We'll just leave it up in the air.
Hey, it's just up in the
figure
air.
it out.
If
Stay
you
on
go to social media,
That's right.
Yeah, if you go to social media, we tell you what's coming. Yeah, Nick works hard on those.
That's
They're pretty.
right. Acknowledge.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for listening. We will see you next time. Say goodnight, Nick.
Good night, Nick.